Hi everyone. Sorry I can't be here with you today. I'm writing curriculum for that new class that we're going to have next year. The first thing that you need to do is to get a Cornell Notes page from your sub. You can use notebook paper if you would like to, otherwise I have it already printed out in 3-hole punch for you. Please put your name, the date, and the block at the top of the paper, and then your topic for today is toy safety. Your essential question, I think it says learning target on your paper, so that's where you will write this. What do caregivers need to know about toys in order to keep their child safe? Then you will take notes just like we were doing it on a PowerPoint on the screen, except you're watching it like a video. If you need to pause, you can do that. If you need to rewind to replay something, that's fine. But remember, you don't need to write every little thing down. Just write notes over what you think the most important parts are. One of the first things that you should do when picking out a toy is to always look for the safety label. Some fabric toys should be flame resistant, meaning they won't catch on fire as easily as other toys. Electric toys, things that have a cord or a battery, they should be UL approved, meaning that if they're left outside or if they get wet for whatever reason, they're probably not going to electrocute your child. Stuffed toys and dolls should be washable in case they get dirt on them. My kids have thrown up on their toys. You just want to be able to put it in the washing machine or get it wet so that it will become clean. And then toys with paint on them should be non-toxic paint. It was a big issue, way back in the day that toys would be painted with lead paint and then kids put them in their mouths and got lead poisoning. So we definitely don't want that for our children. The next thing you want to look at is the fine print. On a lot of children's toys, there's a tiny little bit of writing. It could be on the battery cover, it could be on the label, but it's definitely something that you need to take into consideration. Sometimes it will say safe for use under adult supervision, meaning that you really should be around when your child is playing with that toy. It might say caution, contains small parts. Obviously, that toy would not be appropriate for an infant or certain toddlers. I know that my 1-year-old, yes, she is a toddler, but she cannot do small parts. She will definitely choke on them. Like dog food, she likes to eat that. That would be a small part. No. The next thing you want to look at is for age recommendations. Not every toy is going to be developmentally appropriate for every age. It's kind of like when toys say, or when clothes say one size fits all, but you know one size does not fit all. So the age recommendations are not always accurate. They say it might be appropriate for a 5-year-old, but really it would be okay for a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old. Certain puzzles are that way. There might be Lego pieces and it says it's appropriate for a 3-year-old, but really the pieces are so small, it's better for a 7-year-old. So that's really up to your judgment. There's not always a guarantee for safety. You should be watching your kids play. If you think the toy looks questionable or the age recommendation is questionable, make sure that you're just hanging out with your kid and checking up on them as they're playing with that certain toy. Yeah, slingshot's not appropriate for little toddlers. Jack in the Box, yes, definitely appropriate. It might have some small parts, but hopefully they won't be able to get them off. Here are some certain things you want to avoid for kids that are under 3. So both of my kids should avoid this. Eyes, beads, and squeakers. If you're giving your child a doll, make sure that the eyes are like fabric eyes or that they're sewn on. You don't want something coming off that they're going to put in their mouth and choke on. Same with beads. They shouldn't be making their own bracelet yet. And then squeakers, I don't really get the squeakers one, but it's definitely a recommendation that has been given. And batteries. Don't let your kids chew on batteries. If they can get the remote cover off your remote, make sure that your batteries are taped in there or you have some sort of a backup plan. Use a small object tester. You want to test things. In the picture, there's a little small object tester. If it can fit in there, it's probably too small for your kid under 3. Here are a few recommendations for kids that are under 7 years old. The first is to avoid toys with motors and heating elements. Easy bake ovens used to be kind of a big deal, and they have a heating element, which is what I'm pretty sure is just a light bulb. But if a kid under 7 puts their hand in there, they might burn their hand, so something to look out for. Something that is a shooting game, or it has something that you can launch. There are some Hot Wheels cars that do this. I'm really thinking of like Nerf guns and things like that. Make sure that the child has some eye protection or something like that. I babysat for this family, and for Christmas they got their kids Nerf guns, but they also made sure that in the gift they gave them some protective eyewear that the kids were required to wear when they were playing with the Nerf guns. Otherwise, they were not allowed to play with them, and it was kind of like they were grounded from them. Something else, unbalanced riding toys. So bikes, those ripstick boards, skateboards, scooters. Kids under 7, they don't have the best balance. So I'm not saying don't get your kid those things. Just be there when they're playing with it in case they fall off, because once again, their balance is not that great. And then always use helmets. I know it sounds stupid to put helmets on kids when they're rollerblading, but if they go really fast and they crash, make sure there's something on their head. Helmets have come a long way. They're a lot thinner than they used to be, but they're just as useful. When we were kids, man, we had these ginormous helmets, but hey, they did the job. There's this thing called the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and they are in charge of making sure that everything on the market is safe. They do recalls for like those McDonald's toys. They do recalls for other things as well, but this is really the group that is in charge of making sure that everything out there that you can buy at a store for children is safe. So when McDonald's was selling those activity bands and the kids had allergic reactions to the material in the plastic, these are the people that asked McDonald's to recall those and give them a different toy. And this is their website, www.cpsc.gov. And if you go to that website, you can see just about any toy that has ever been recalled. You can go on there and check for car seats. You can go on there and check for even some of the things that you guys might like, headphones, just phones, just anything in general. They're really in charge of keeping safe. Okay, here's when we come to the project part of today's lesson. It's called Toy Safety Research. It says, children learn through play. Play helps children interact with adults and other children. Play also helps babies develop motor skills. Your job is to research 2 toys. Use the questions below to guide you through your research. In the end, you will present your research to the class using a PowerPoint or Prezi. I'm also going to add that you can use Google Slides if you would like to, because I know that you can do Google Slides on your phone if you download the app. So PowerPoint, Prezi, or Google Slides. When you're doing your toy, you can go to Target.com, you can look at Walmart.com, Toys R Us. There are a lot of different websites, but I would look at the website from the previous slide to make sure that your toy has not been recalled, so double check that. So your name and description of the toy, where can you buy it? Where did you look it up at? What age range do you think it's applicable for? So 0 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, 1 to 2 years, 4 to 5 years. What age are you going for? What motor skills is this toy helping your baby to develop? Are we talking gross motor skills and the large muscles of their body? Are we talking fine motor skills and its hand-eye coordination? Are we talking intellectual development? Those types of things. And then which strategies does your toy sync up with on page 248? You're going to need a textbook and you need to look on that page to answer that question. And lastly, what safety concerns do caregivers need to be aware of when playing with this toy? So please be as specific as you possibly can be through your presentation. And yep, you're going to be presenting it. You'll be okay. However, if you would like to make a movie like this, where you're not actually up in front of people, let me know and I'm more than happy to help you present it through a movie format. All right, good luck. If you have any questions, email me. You have your email up already. Hopefully I'll be able to email you back. These are due at the end of class today, so make sure that you're on task and working. Okay, you're off. Good luck.